You are writing your own story every single moment of your life. You are the director, you are the creator, and you are the actor of your own motherfucking life, right? And every single moment, what is it that you're choosing? How are you choosing to think? How are you choosing to talk? How are you choosing to conduct yourself? Every single moment, moment by moment, right? What are the choices that you're making? The way you're talking to yourself. All these things are getting strung together in a piece of string. And then at any given moment, at any given time, when you look at that string of film, that pieces that you can put in a system and run it through and be able to see that video, watch the video, what do you see? That's your life, and that's your life. See, what it is there's a cycle. There's a whole cycle. And a lot of us don't understand that. A lot of us don't want to understand. That's the problem. Because the way of life of a superior man that is on an upward spiral, right? On an upward spiral to growth as an intellectual, to growth as a human being, understand that there's cycle of life, right? And the key word there is understanding. Now, let me give you a definition of understanding. The definition of understanding something means to do it and apply it. The understanding of something by applying it, not by just watching it, reading it, listening to it, but continuously applying it, becoming it, living, breathing it, becoming it. That's the definition of understanding. So, by example, by meaning, to know something, which is to understand something, and to not do it means you don't know it. It means you don't understand it. And so, majority of us, and it's, the system is built like that. It's built on, okay, the people, so there's if you download emotional frequency chart, one of the emotionals, which is a low vibration, and it's not a good or a bad thing, rather what it is, right? One of the emotions on a low frequency end is desire. When you are desiring something, you want something. Majority of the people, they desire stuff throughout the day. And when they have their desires, their need met, they will choose to ignore everything. They will choose to ignore the rest of the world. They will choose to ignore their self. They will choose to ignore the people around them. They'll choose to ignore like every single thing. They'll choose to ignore God. They'll choose to ignore morals. They'll choose to ignore ethics. They'll choose to ignore the righteous, the universal truths. They'll choose to ignore virtues, and they'll choose to ignore the life, the way of life that ails and help our society, right? They'll ignore that. Why? Because they're having their need being met. They have a desire, and when their desire is being met, what they'll do is they'll ignore everything else. And it's like that because that's how the system is built. The system is built like that. And so that's the difference between somebody who, gets their need met. Let's say, you're hungry, you're tired, you're thirsty, whatever your needs are. When you get your needs met, you won't go any further. You will choose to just stop there and ignore everything else. Why would you want more? You got your needs met. But the thing is about those needs is they'll never truly satisfy you. And actually, once you get your need met, you will even sink to a lower vibration of shame and guilt. Why? Because you just got your need met, and there's a cycle of life which says if you choose to skip the pain, it will inevitably be followed up after the pleasure that you were seeking in the first place. Meaning that if you just run straight to pleasure, instant gratification. You're smoking weed, you're drinking alcohol, you're smoking vape, you're womanizing, you're, taking pills, you're leaning, you're causing violence, you're giving into hate, you're giving into jealousy, you're vibrating on these lower frequencies, right? And so what happens is you get stuck in that mode of, well, that becomes your reality now, meaning that like that's your normal life. And guess what? When you're in those frequencies, only thing you will resonate with is other like frequencies. And so you tend to just have the same group of people that are resonating with you. You have the same group of activities and tasks that resonate with you because you are in that vibration. And that's how the system works. The system understands. The people understand how the system works. And the way the system works is like vibrations resonate. And when you understand these vibrations, you also understand that the low vibrational people are gonna resonate with other low vibration people, meaning that like, hey, I'm talking to Timmy, and I'm just saying, oh no, fuck that, we don't need to make a lot of money. Oh no, fuck that, we don't need to stop drinking. Oh no, fuck that, we don't need to stop smoking. No, fuck it, we can just go eat another meal. Fuck it, we don't need to get in shape. And Timmy agrees with me. Only reason is so we can validate each other on the low frequency because we resonate, and then boom, our whole group circle, and majority of people are like that. They won't do what's necessary, what needs to be done, even if nobody's doing it. And the reason for that is because there are such a low vibrations that's what they resonate with, and they'll stay stuck there. It's like, how are you gonna break out of a jail that you don't even know you're in one, right? First, you have to become aware that you're in a jail. But how can you become aware of it when you have no idea of its presence, right? It's like not even in your imagination. It's not even in your mind. How can you even begin to think about it? Like you don't even have an idea of it. But the way to do that is you understand that the cycle of life is that pain that you overcome, these obstacles, these challenges, right? These adversities that you overcome. That's where the pleasure comes in. That's where the pleasure comes in. That's where the fruit of labor comes in. That's where the discipline comes in. Knowing that like, hey, like at the end of the day, I don't feel good getting my needs met, but I feel good overcoming adversity, overcoming challenges, overcoming obstacles. That's what makes me me and gives me that internal attributes of secureness, safeness, confident, content, courageous. That motherfucker, that man, right? The alcohol doesn't do it. That's fake. The weed doesn't do it. That's fake, right? All these external items don't do it. That's fake confidence. That's fake whatever. As soon as those are taken away from me, then I'm ripped away with that, cupcake, being a cupcake. But if I build that internal person, the internal attribute by how? By understanding. And when you are choosing to understand something, you are choosing to say every single moment, every single day, you're choosing to say, I don't know what I don't know. I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to change. And who do you listen to? Are you listening to, anybody mumbo jumboing, or are you listening to your conscious? See, your conscious, the voice of your conscious is the true authentic voice of God. And you must listen to your conscious. You must listen to God. God is calling you. God is telling you exactly what you need to do. But first, you must be worthy of listening to God. How do you become worthy? You must drop the vices. Drop the womanizing. Drop the weed. Drop the alcohol. Right? Drop the lean. Drop the pill. Right? Drop being violence. Drop being hate. Drop being jealousy. Drop being addicted to things. Drop being addicted to eating a lot of food. Stop being addicted to a certain people, certain attachments. You need to basically start waking up slowly but surely. You need to start waking up. One step in the right direction is 1,000 steps away from the wrong direction. Like the thing is, you need to just follow up one step after another in the right direction, and don't take any back steps. Don't go backwards. That's what makes it hard to go in the right direction, is when you go in the right direction, but then you end up going backwards, right? What's the point? Every single day, just make sure you're taking at least one step in the right direction, at least one step in the right direction, and never ever take one step in the wrong direction ever again. And so when you wake up, you reflect on the things that yesterday, you felt like, hey, you were not in alignment of what truly God has ordained for you. And what you do is you learn that lesson. You say, hey, God, I'm really grateful for another day. I'm excited to see how it's going to unfold. What I will do is, when you present me with these circumstances, events, situations again, I will have a different response, because I will choose to show you that I did learn my lesson. But because I have faith in you and trust in you, that you have a way bigger plan for me, way better plan for me, that I can not even begin imagine, right? And I will just choose to show you faith by keep walking that path that you have ordained for me. I love you, God. I appreciate you for another day. I'm really excited for this moment, and I'm really excited for the day to go out there and crush it, right? And what I will do is, when you present me with these circumstances, events, situations again today, I will have a different behavior. Why? Because I will choose to show you that I learned my lesson. I love you, God. I appreciate you. And so that's how you have to go about life. You have to reflect. You have to self-actualize philosophies, and you have to self-realize. You have to self-realize events, people, things, circumstances, scenarios. You gotta actualize yourself. You gotta realize yourself, and then you will self-sabotage all those self-actualizations, self-realizations, if you don't choose to self-transcend, if you don't choose to share that with the world, share with the world what has worked for you. Like if dropping the alcohol, dropping womanizing, dropping weed, dropping vape, dropping pills, lean, dropping the violence, giving into these low vibrations helped you overcome so much bullshit in your life, right? And you share that with the world, like that's gonna get you to the next level. That's gonna get you to the next level. If you just keep it to yourself, you're gonna end up self-sabotaging. Why? Because you're not speaking it in terms of words, but energetically you're vibrating in fear. Why? Because you're choosing to think scarcely, like, oh, I learned these lessons. I self-actualized, I self-realized. I don't want to share that with nobody. You're not saying that, but you're vibrating in that energy by not sharing it with the world. And you have to share what worked. You have to be it, become it. Move and walk, talk, these philosophies that you've actualized, and these moments, circumstances, and peoples and events that you realize you have to become. Because if you don't become those things, if you don't transcend those things, then you're gonna end up going backwards. You're gonna end up self-transcending, because there's just so much going on. You're bombarded with so much fucking shit. There's so many different waves and frequencies around you that, like, it's gonna just slip through your fingers if you don't transcend it, if you don't become it. So on this beautiful Monday, guys, we self-actualized, we self-realized, and we self-transcended everything that we overcame. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let's go!